The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Mark Fantasy. Get up to 1K in a deposit match when you sign up Mark Fantasy with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Sunday afternoon, August 3rd, here to break down the games for Monday. I'm your host, Scott Reichel, joined by Dylan Rockford. Together, we're going to break down the games for tomorrow. Dylan, how's it going with you? How was your weekend? I'll put it this way. My team was really bad over the weekend. Your team wasn't good either, but your team was better than my team. So I guess that's the silver lining there. So I'm going to ask, what's up? How's it going? If you didn't know, you're on mute, by the way, before you try to talk. But how's it going? What's up?
I'm doing all right. Like you said, my team's not doing as good as yours, but Marlins, first time in franchise history, they swept the Yankees. It's bad. It's bad for us right now. The Yankees are in disarray. Mets, they stink too. They had one good offensive performance. And then on Friday, they leave everybody on base. They should have won that game. It's been bad. And in a series that they should have gotten at home, it's been bad. Now they get the Guardians. So we'll see if they turn it around. I am going to my first game this season in a few weeks. I think maybe the 13th, maybe next week or maybe in 2 weeks, but going against the Mariners at home Friday night.
Yeah, sounds fun. Mariners have been a pretty entertaining team recently. They made some trades. So do you know who's pitching for the game you might go to?
No, it's too far in advance. I think it's about 2 weeks out.
Well, either way.
Should be fun, though.
I'm not going to be going to a... Wait, so what's the date on that?
Let me just double check. I have it in my Google Calendar. You a big Google Calendar guy?
Big.
Yeah, big.
Well, it's connected to the phone calendar. So
it is.
You kind of have to be, right?
Yeah, Friday the 15th, next Friday.
Yeah, so the reason why I was asking is because, take no offense to this, I cannot join you because I'll be in Las Vegas.
Well, so, hopefully your bets are hotter than it will be outside.
Yes, I made a joke about that on Twitter. It's supposed to be about 105, give or take.
Oh, man.
So we'll see what happens, but I've been there in the summer before. I'm just going to have to remember to bring some type of fillable water bottle or something.
I hear it's dry. I've never been out. I've only been to Colorado. That's the farthest out west I've been. I hear it's dry out there.
It is. They always tell you it's not the heat, it's the humidity. I'll put it this way. It feels like 105 outside. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I understand in, like, Florida, for example, it can be very humid and you're sweating bullets. You're not really sweating as much, but you feel just the pure heat kind of hit you. So I'll be spending a lot of time indoors in general because I'm going to be in Vegas gambling and doing shows at Circa, so I'll be busy. But the point is, it should be fun either way. Yeah. But I will not be around for that Mets-Mariners game. So.
How are your bets, though, doing recently?
Fine. Can't complain. I had a UFC parlay last night.
Nice.
It was a
Tyra?
It was a sweat and a half. No, it was not Tyra. I did like Tyra to win, but the value I didn't think was there. Thought submission, didn't do it. I had the Ribovic significant strikes, which was a crazy fight.
What a fight.
He went over the 6 strikes in 2 rounds. I had the other Argentinian guy. I had the combined strikes against... Who the hell was he against?
Not Ribovic.
Not Ribovic.
Kevin Aljour or...
it was Silva against... Vallejos,
yeah.
I had the combo significant strikes at 155.5 at plus 275. They finished with 159, so that was a sweat and a half. And then I had the Rebecki over 1.5 takedowns, and he had 2. So it paid out at about 11-1. I'm annoyed, though. I'll call out DraftKings. They don't sponsor the show. I tried to bet $100 on it to win like $1,100, and they limited me to $49.
Oh, they knew.
They knew. I get limited all the time on DraftKings, but they're the only book that had, because I've made a lot of money on DraftKings. They've limited me for a while. Plus, when you bet tennis, I might draw some flags from the risk management department over on DraftKings. But
how do you? I've never been limited. Maybe I'm just an awful bettor, but
it's a lot of it's depending on the markets you bet. I used to bet on quarter markets in tennis, like who's going to win the quarter or the draw. And DraftKings are looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? And we're going to limit all his action. So DraftKings has limited my action for like 3 years. It's been pretty ugly, but I got down 50. I wanted 100. So I'll take the 500 instead of 1,000, but whatever. It is what it is.
You're going to put it on black when you go to Vegas anyway.
Either that or I'll put it on the poker table. One of the.
Are you a big black or red guy?
My friends and I used to have this pact every time we'd go on a trip, whether it involved Vegas or whether it involved just any casino. The first thing we would do is we put money on black.
Yeah, same.
I think it was Entourage. That might have been from Entourage. I'm not sure, but I think we're on a cold run. I think we've lost like 3 in a row on, but we can't change it up. It's the old trip, so you got to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when me and my friends go to AC, we always put either 50 or 100 on black as soon as we step in. Before we even check into our room, we have to put 100 on black.
How far away are you from AC?
Oh, far. That's
what I figured.
Yeah, I'm about 2.5 hours from it. I'm like 10 minutes from New York City, so I'm like all the way up.
My friend made the trip to AC a week or two ago because they had a poker open, so he was playing some tournaments. So I think he drove, and it was like 2 and change, give or take.
It's not fun. No.
Yeah, but
and it's a shithole.
I've actually never been to AC. Fun fact, never been.
You don't want to go.
No, I think I do for just for the vibes. They do have a lot of gambling over there.
It's very ghetto.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I used to watch Jersey Shore. I'll fit right in. It's fine. I'll make it work. It's fine.
Okay.
But either way, we'll get into some of the breakdowns on team stuff once again during the actual game breakdowns. But our teams have not done too well over the last few days. Anyway, before we get into any of the games, a reminder that you can join a Sports Game Podcast with the football coverage that we have for the NFL season. They're back with the 32 NFL team previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give it a word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Anyway, starting off with the first game on the card for Monday. First game is the Astros against the surging Marlins. For this game, you have Alexander against Alcantara. For the actual pricing on this game, I do see basically minus 110 on both sides. The over-under, I do see 8 or 8.5. Houston over the weekend has been, I'll say, underwhelming. They got swept by Boston. It was not pretty for them. The Marlins, though, have been surging. I believe they're only 5.5 back of the final wildcard spot. They're fun. They've been playing very good baseball for the last month. Alcantara's been good. Alexander, Serenity now, has not been good recently. I'm going to go with the Marlins at home. I think they should be favored in this game, actually. Give me Miami minus 110.
Yeah, I like the Fish right now. They're red hot. 8-2 in their last 10. They just swept the Yankees. Their pitching has been great. Bats have been good as well. And, even though I am surprised because I think we talked about it last week, Sandy Alcantara, he didn't get dealt. I thought he was going to get dealt at the deadline. He's put together back-to-back really solid starts here for Miami against the Cardinals and the Padres. 2 decent teams. And with the way you mentioned it, with the way the Astros have been swinging the bat this weekend against the Red Sox, very underwhelming. They lost 3 in a row. And to be honest, I think that the offenses are very comparable. I think it's a coin flip right now. So I'm not a fan of Jason Alexander. I don't think he's good at all. He's inconsistent. Walks are a big problem for him as well. So, yeah, minus 108. I know it's a pick 'em right now, but my lines made the Marlins a minus 125 favorite. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Marlins here at home.
Out of curiosity, did you understand the Serenity Now joke, or did that go over your head?
Way over my head.
Okay, so do you ever hear the show Seinfeld?
Oh, yeah.
The bald guy, George?
Yeah, the guy who works for the Yankees.
Yes, the actor's name who plays him is Jason Alexander.
Oh, I had no idea.
So that's the bit there. Anyway, moving on to the next game.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. No, I assume you didn't get it, but I thought it was a good joke in my head. I mean, that was the thing. I think it was in a Mets game earlier this year. He was pitching against them, and somebody behind home plate was screaming "Serenity Now" every time he was about to throw a pitch.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was like a thing. So there you go. But either way, moving on to the next game. Twins taking on the Tigers. You have Woods Richardson taking on Mize. For the money line here, you have Detroit and Minnesota having no lines right now. Spoiler, Detroit will be favored in this game, but probably by a decent amount. For the weekend, Minnesota was actually okay. I'll put it this way. Were they good? No. They won the last game, though. I mean, they traded away the entire team before the deadline, so it could be worse, I guess. Detroit, they got back on track offensively. They ended up winning the second game against Philly. They have the game Sunday night, so if you want to fade them based on the Sunday night fade, you can. But for this matchup, Detroit has won 5 of 6. Minnesota has a bunch of NPs on the team. You never heard of them. They're fake baseball players, but they have a roster, apparently. I'm going Detroit at home in this game. I know Mize has not been as good lately. I'm not a fan of Wood Richardson, though. I think that he's a pretty underwhelming pitcher. Give me Detroit minus 1.5.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on Detroit here. I think they're great at home. They're starting to play a little better here this past week or so. And you mentioned it, the Twins literally traded their whole team and said, fuck it, we're building for next year. Honestly, I feel bad for season ticket holders. You finally get a guy like Carlos Correa, probably the biggest free agent signing in probably a decade for this team, and then say, you know what, we're good. We'll trade him back. So feel bad for the season ticket holders. But I like Casey Mize for the Tigers. He's 5-1 at home this season, 3.32 ERA. I feel like he's only had really one poor start at home, and it was against the Mariners a few days ago. He just picked up a solid win against this Twins team back in June. Tigers offense, they've really turned it on here this past week. So at home, they're averaging around almost 5 runs per game. It's around 4.93, but Minnesota stinks on the road. My numbers made them a -170 favorite. I don't think they'll be that big of a favorite, but I do like the Tigers here. I think they keep it rolling.
Yeah, I just feel like Detroit is a team that was going through a regular season slump. It happens to the best of teams, and they woke up and are playing good baseball again.
Yeah.
So
why did the Twins trade like 11, 12 players?
Because they didn't want to pay anybody any money. They looked at the roster and said, we are terrible, and said, we're going to start from scratch. Didn't they change owners?
I don't know.
I thought they did. I thought they had an ownership switch. So maybe they just said, you know what, we want to start from scratch. I didn't hate the idea. I know Twins fans are very annoyed that Varland got traded because he's a born and raised Minnesota guy.
No, Jim Pollin's been the owner since 2009.
Okay. I thought they were trying to sell the team.
No one wants to buy him.
No, I don't know about that. You see valuations for teams go up every single year.
Look at the Celtics. They just bought the Sun, right?
Yes. And there are rumors they might ship that team to Boston, which I expect.
Makes sense.
But it says, according to reports, the current owner of the Twins, the Pollitt family, has been trying to sell the team for the past year.
Why can't anybody buy him? Or
they're waiting for the right deal. The point is they don't want to pay players and they don't even own the team.
How much is the evaluation for the team?
That I don't know. But I know the owners don't want to be the owners, so why would they want to pay players if they don't even want to be owning the team? I think that's the argument to be made. That's why they got rid of Correa.
They said the estimated value is $1.5 to $2 billion.
Doesn't surprise me. I keep questioning how certain teams' valuations keep going up, but the Twins, the owners don't want to be involved, and why would you want to pay players if you don't even want to own the team? So
that's fair.
That could be a reason why. But either way, they're a bad team. Let's go from there. Moving on to the Giants. Speaking of bad teams, taking on the Pirates. I don't know what the hell they've been doing this weekend. Shout out to the blown 9-0 lead in the first inning on Friday night by Pittsburgh. They also lost the game yesterday. They're up 8-5 right now in the 8th inning. What can possibly go wrong? For the Giants, decent weekend against the Mets. You have Verlander against we don't know, pitching for Pittsburgh. We don't have any lines because we don't know. I'll ask you for this game because I know Pittsburgh offensively is not very good, and yes, they were in cores all weekend. The bats woke up. San Francisco hit the ball pretty well over the weekend. I kind of like the over in the game, but I don't know who's pitching. So I guess over, but I can't really talk about anything for this game.
Yeah, I think it's Johan Oviedo. I think
over.
He's gonna.
I remember Oviedo over.
Yeah, he's going to be making his first start in about 2 years. He hasn't pitched since 2023, and obviously, and people have been listening. I usually fade pitchers who make their first start of the season, especially late in the season. But to be honest, the Buccos are playing pretty well right now. I think they're playing better than the Giants. And Pirates at home, they've been solid at home. They're actually above 500. Verlander has had back-to-back decent starts, but he faced this Pirates team last week. And even with a solid start, the Pirates still won that game. I don't trust this Giants offense right now. I don't mind backing the Pirates either. They're hitting around 250 in Pittsburgh. And Pirates did a good job limiting the last series against San Francisco, really limiting their run. So anything over a plus 120, I think the Pirates are worth a shot. So I'm going to be on the Pirates here at home.
Well, I do want to ask you, though, since you did watch the Giants play over the weekend, any thoughts? Was it the Mets being terrible or the Giants being good?
I think it was the Mets being bad. I mean, Frankie Montas, you got 6-7 runs off him. He's trash. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me. So against a good pitcher like Kodai Senga, they didn't do anything. So I think it was more the Mets were really bad and they couldn't get really clutch time hits as opposed to Giants just, you every squirrel finds a nut, right? One day, or an acorn. So
that's true.
So it's all right. We're a better team, and I think our offense, our bullpen has gotten really better over the deadline. I like Cedric Mullins as well. We'll see how he does. But, I just think it was a series that the Mets played bad in.
Yeah, I know Lindor was pretty good a couple games ago, but my concern is that Lindor, Alonso, and Soto are kind of slumping at the same time.
And that's bad. If those four are something or those three or something, that's why I argued a few weeks ago before the deadline we needed to go again and get another bat like Suarez that the Mariners got.
Yeah, I mean, Vientos has been pretty good lately, to be fair.
Yeah, Beatty's okay. We'll see. I'm waiting for Francisco Alvarez to come back. He got hit in the head the other day, so we'll see.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, though, Orioles taking on the Phillies. For this one, you have Povich. I forgot about Povich. Taking on Luzardo. For this one, you have the Phillies minus 190. You have the Orioles over-under. I actually don't even know if I see a total on this game. I see 9 as the total. Juice to the under, though, minus 122. I see the minus 1.5, though, for the Phillies at plus 106. The plus 1.5 is minus 128. So, Luzardo's had a weird season. He was great to start the year. Then he was terrible. And suddenly he's been very up and down. No earned runs, 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 0 earned runs. But the home numbers have been atrocious for Luzardo recently. Last 3 home starts, 6 earned, 4 earned, 5 earned. So it's not been pretty at home. I like the over in the game. I'm not a Povich guy at all. I think he stinks. I think Luzardo at home's proven he's not very trustworthy. I think 9 makes sense, actually. I like the over.
Yeah, I see 8.5 at minus 115. I would take the over as well. My total came out to 9.1. Like you mentioned, Jesus Luzardo has not been good at home. 5.31 ERA. Batter's hitting almost 300 off him, 275. He's given up 4+ runs in his last 3 starts at home. In 4 of those 5 games, they finished double digits. So, both clubs, I don't trust their bullpens. Bottom 10 in the league in bullpen. And, K. Povich is not good. I don't like him either. On the road, he's been okay, but Phillies do rake at home. It's going to be a beautiful night in Philly. Wind's blowing out, so I do think we'll see some runs here in Philadelphia. So, yeah, over 8.5.
Yeah, I think for the side in itself, I don't really trust Baltimore's offense, but I don't know if I even like... I get it's plus money on the Phillies, but I don't actually know if I want to go for the run line or not. You have any thoughts on the run line? Because I don't have anything.
No, I probably wouldn't touch a side if I'm being honest. I get it's plus money, plus 120, but I really don't trust the offense right now. And it's a fate of Sunday Night Baseball as well.
That's true. If I was going to take a spin, I'd probably pick the Orioles, but I'm not going to bet that.
Yeah.
Maybe Orioles team total over, but I do want to fade Povich. So that's kind of where I'm at. Give me the over.
You ever, I know you do first 5 sometimes. You ever do a team total first 5?
Yeah, I used to do that all the time on YouTube. I haven't done it as much this year because not enough books offer the props overnight for first 5, and I'm recording usually the night before. So DraftKings was usually the main book that would post first 5 team totals. It's been way too juicy lately. I don't know if they nerf the prices or what's going on there, but I've noticed I've gravitated more away from those props because the pricing just hasn't been good enough.
How many TVs do you have in your room?
In my room, 1, but I have a computer that I'm constantly simulcasting multiple games at the same time.
Oh, okay. Because you have multiple action across different sports. I'm always wondering how you keep track of everything.
Usually I'll pick 1, or sometimes I'll pick 0, and I'll just check back after. Of course, I try to scout as well for future games. I'll watch some stuff, but I also don't want to overdo it. If I have 7 props, if I have 7 games with action, I can't handle watching 7 at the same time. I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
So I'll watch 1, and then I'll check back an hour later, and I'll see how the other ones are doing.
I have 3 TVs, but, girlfriend, she was like, no, 1 TV has to be like my show. So I'm only down to 2.
I still feel like if you want to do multiple TVs, you can. Some people love the rush and the adrenaline and everything. You don't even enjoy it if you have too much action. It's a waste.
I like it more for football and college football. Baseball is a little different.
Yeah, I agree with you. They tried that. I don't know if you paid attention to MLB Network. Do you ever watch that channel?
Sometimes.
They added a red zone type of channel every now and then called The Big Inning, which is on a couple times a week. It's just a quad box of MLB games. And they'll rotate between games, but it's not nearly as enjoyable.
I think the NHL did something like that on ESPN too, right?
Yeah, everyone's trying to do that now, the goal zone or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They tried that. Baseball doesn't really work for me.
No, same.
But I respect the effort.
Yeah, same. I hope they keep Red Zone on ESPN too.
I hope that ESPN doesn't butcher it.
Yeah.
I imagine they're going to have to because the entire appeal of Red Zone is no commercials. And ESPN's known for just slamming commercials down people's throats.
Slamming it.
I don't know how that's supposed to work. Yeah, nobody likes ESPN anymore.
I hate it. It's so bad.
It's terrible. But that's kind of my argument. I don't know how they're going to blend the two of them.
Money talks, man. They probably spent billions of dollars on that deal, right? You've had to.
I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Fuck. So we'll see what happens. But either way, before we get into the remainder of the card for Monday, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, MyBookie.ag. It's available to bet on every sport. They have baseball, they have WNBA, they have tennis, they have golf, they have football futures. They also are available at a ton of locations. Use crypto for fast payouts and use deposit Santo for a new account. Use the code SGPN to get a special 100% doesn't match up to 1K. Term and conditions, MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also sponsored by Rhythm because they have power trends, which are the best of the best for what the house model has to offer. And a reminder, they've been cooking for MLB and for WNBA. For MLB, they're crushing it a lot of unders on batter hitter props, collecting around a 70% hit rate. And for the WNBA, power trends since the All-Star break are 27-16 with an ROI of 23.36%. So build your bankroll before the NFL season starts. Don't forget to download the app, check out power trends, and a reminder, when you want to actually use the platform for free, you get a free week by using the link sportsgamepodcast.com's Rhythm to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the card for Monday. Time to keep going with the next game, the Guardians taking on the Mets. For this one, you have Ciccone taking on Manaea. You have the Mets minus 185, the Guardians plus 155. The over-under in this game is around, I see 8 as the flat total. Cleveland, of course, has no closer right now because they made Ortiz and Clase clean out their lockers. They're done for the year. As for the Guardians, they've been fine lately. Bit of a weaker schedule against the Rockies and the Twins. The Mets, though, have not been good lately. They had a bit of a heater a week or two ago. Since then, they've kind of fallen back down. It's a big number to lay with Manaea, who's been good this season. Ciccone's been good, though. I'll give him props. He actually goes some distance. But conceptually, I think this price is egregious on New York. I think the Mets should be favored. I would have him at like minus 150. 190 is insane. Give me Cleveland plus 166.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard betting against the Mets, but this price is egregious. My numbers only made the Mets a minus 160 favorite. I like the under 8. I actually see some 8.5s starting to pop up. My total came out to 7.5. I mean, Sean Manaea, you mentioned it. He's been great for the Mets since returning. They're starting to stretch him out a little bit as well each start. He hasn't given up more than 1 run in all 4 starts. Keeps the ball inside the ballpark. Walks aren't a problem either. So, you know, he gets a lot of ground balls. I like him in this spot. Even though the Guardians have been winning, they're playing the Twins, who are trading away their whole team, and they play the Rockies. So I wouldn't put too much into those wins for me. And on the other side, you mentioned I like Slate Ciccone. He's been good on the road. He's only given up more than 2 runs on the road 1 time, and it was back in early May. All 6 of his road starts have gone under this season. So I think we see a lower scoring game. Mets struggling to hit. Guardians aren't a powerhouse offensively either. So I think we see a lower scoring game. Give me the under.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on the under, but I'd rather go with the Guardians just based on the value. Moving on to the next game. I'm going to look at a matchup between the Royals and the Red Sox. Red Sox have been rolling. Don't look now, second place in the AL East, and they are closing in. As the Royals did them a favor, and they ended up beating Toronto in extras on Sunday. Shout out to Sir Anthony Dominguez, who punted the entire game away in the 10th inning for Toronto. For this game, you'll falter. New acquisition for Kansas City as he takes on Bayo. Boston minus 165. The Royals are plus 140. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at around 9 or 9.5. I like Boston minus 1.5 at plus money. They've been very good recently. I think the lineup does well against lefties with the, of course, Green Monster there in left field. Falter has been up and down this season. He was pitching pretty well at the end of his Pirates tenure, but I do like Bayo more than him. Give me Boston minus 1.5 at plus 135. I think it's a great price at 135.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox here at home, but man, this total is high at 10, in my opinion. My total came out to 8.9. Both these clubs, you know, they haven't been playing exactly high-scoring games, in my opinion. I like both pitchers. I think Brian Bello has been great in July, 4-2 towards the under. Got to keep the walks down. Walks are a problem for him, but Royals don't walk. They're 30th in the league in drawing walks. And with the way the Red Sox bullpen has looked, top 5 bullpen, by the way, for Boston. They've looked good. I don't expect many runs out of KC. I know they scored 7 runs here on Sunday, but most of that was in extra innings when the Blue Jays kind of just said, fuck it.
It was Dominguez. Dominguez punted the entire game.
Yeah. And Bailey Falter's another guy I like. I think he's been fine in the month of July. The under is 4-1 in his last 5 starts as well. So Red Sox offense is great, but 10 seems extremely high for these two pitchers. So I'm on the under.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to the next game. You have Milwaukee against Atlanta. Milwaukee's been rolling. They are first place team right now. Best record in the league, I believe.
Yeah.
You have Priester taking on Strider. The Brewers are minus 145. The Braves are plus 120. The over-under is set at around, what do I see it at? I see 9 or 8.5. I do see a 135 on Milwaukee. I see Fetty being listed, though, in a couple spots. I'm actually not sure if Strider's pitching or if it is going to be Fetty.
Strider.
So we'll see what happens. But I like Milwaukee anyway. I think Milwaukee is a good baseball team. I actually put a tweet out about Milwaukee over the weekend. Their numbers against the Nationals over the weekend were absolutely disgusting. So they played 3 games against the Nationals. They were 3-0. They scored 38 runs and had 56 hits. 56 hits in 3 games. I don't even know how you do that. That's roughly 19 hits a game. So I'll take Milwaukee, who's been just dominant recently. Give me Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's the most hits by an NL team in a 3-game series since the Brooklyn Dodgers collected 57 hits against the Pirates in 1950.
56 hits in 3 games is absolutely diabolical.
Yeah, they're the best team in the league. Their offense is ridiculous right now, and we're still fading the Braves. They stink. I have no faith in this team whatsoever. Their offense is inconsistent, and even if they do have the lead, do you really trust their bullpen to keep the lead? I don't. Bottom 10 in the bullpen league right now, and they're going up against a Brewers team who you just mentioned, 56 hits in 3 games. They rake on the road. They're hitting 275 away from Milwaukee. They lead the league in runs per game on the road with 5.65 per game. Atlanta can't match this offense. I just don't see a way for them to win this game. And on the other side, real quick, Quinn Priester has been great for the Brewers, and he's already shut down this Atlanta team a few starts ago. It's Brewers minus 1.5.
Also mentioning that Austin Riley left the game early with a hamstring issue, I think. Well, a point I'm trying to make is that Atlanta's offense is more shorthanded.
I just like shitting on Atlanta.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'd say over the years, you're not used to it.
No. So I'm doing it a lot now.
No, I get it. Yeah, makes sense. Moving on to the next game, you have the Reds taking on the Cubs. So for this game, you have Lodolo against Soroka, who's the new acquisition there by Chicago. For the pricing, I see the Cubs minus 140. The Reds are plus 124. For the over-under in this game, I see 8. Now, the Cubs won via walk-off against the Orioles. They won the series, but damn, did they not look good in that series. The Reds have been fine lately. I'll put it that way. They're 4 over. They made some moves at the deadline. Did lose 2 out of 3 to the Braves, which is not a good look at all. But I like Lodolo, so give me the Reds first 5.
Yeah, this one was a tough game to handicap for me. I didn't want to take the Cubs at this price. I only made them a minus 130 favorite, but my total did come out to an 8.6. The over has been profitable at Wrigley for the Cubs this year, 28 and 24 towards the over. For me, I think it came down to which Michael Soroka are we going to see? The one who only gave up 1 run to this Reds team a few days ago, or the one that gave up 7 to the Red Sox? The Reds are better offensively on the road than they are at home. They're decent against righties. They're hitting 256 against righties. They get on base. They don't really strike out a lot. And the Cubs, we know about their offense. They have the best offense in the league outside of Milwaukee. So I think they'll get to Nick Lodolo. I know he's been really good in the month of July. They already did back in May. They already roughed up Nick Lodolo back in May. So I think we'll see some runs here. I was worried because I checked the weather. The wind is blowing in a little bit in Wrigley. So maybe it'll change a little bit, but I like the over here.
Yeah, I think that for this game, for value alone, I'll go with the Reds first 5, but I'm not going to bet this game. I'm not interested.
Yeah,
Do want
I
to point
agree.
out, by the way, because it was mentioned earlier in the comment section. I was going to wait for us to get to the game. We have a comment about how big of a failure the Speedway game was.
I saw that.
It was a disaster.
Disaster.
For the record, they shouldn't have started the game in the first place because they got through less than one inning, and then they called it for rain, and they continued today.
Did they not check the weather? It was awful all day.
No, the game was delayed before they even started. Then they started the game, and they delayed it again. So it was a complete disaster. I think the concept was okay. Why can't you just do the Field of Dreams game every single year?
Every year.
You had a
So
great setup.
stupid.
It was a great setup. You had a great vibe. You had, of course, some type of cultural significance with the movie. Now you just throw it into...
They're so stupid.
No, now it's turning into like an NHL Winter Classic thing where you're trying to do it in new venues, trying different things. Just keep it the way it was. I don't think anybody complained about the Field of Dreams game. The field was nice. You had the nice crop. So you had the right aesthetic, what you were going for. I don't see what putting a baseball field in a racetrack in the middle of summer is supposed to do for you. I don't really get it. So I'm more of a Field of Dreams guy.
I agree. I agree. They should have kept it every year. Change is not good all the time. Stop trying to be more than what you are.
The argument is you're going to sell more tickets if you put it in a racetrack. I get it. But listen,
we're headed for a lockout regardless, Scott.
See, I think we're headed to a lockout threat. I never actually agree that there's going to be a full lockout because you have so many people forfeiting money. I think eventually you'll end up settling. Maybe for an abridged season, we'll see what happens. But that's a couple years down the road?
I think in 2026.
Okay. So either way, I think we'll be very, very late to spring training. I'll put it that way.
Why is Rob Manfred going to clubhouses and talking about salary caps if we're not going to a lockout?
I'm going to ask you, do you think baseball should have a salary cap?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No. It's the only sport that doesn't.
Oh, you got soccer.
Soccer, okay. But I guess the main basketball, football, and hockey. They're all salary cap besides baseball.
I understand why players are against it. I understand why owners want it. It's really a very anti-Dodger piece of legislation because of all the money that they can spend on people because they have infinite funds. I wonder how deferred payments will play a factor with that because Ohtani's making a small amount of money because he's making $700 million down the road. So I don't know how that works. But I can understand both sides. I'll put it that way. So,
do you want a cap?
Once again, as a Yankees fan, I should be anti-cap because the Yankees' entire legacy is spending more money than all the other teams combined.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply anymore because the Dodgers showed up. I can understand both arguments. I'm going to say no cap, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
You're open-minded.
I'm not against it, but I think I'm more let the players get paid what they want.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not my money anyway, so if the players want to get paid, sure. The only downside to not having one is, well, the Dodgers just keep having infinite funds to acquire every good free agent.
And as a Met fan, I'm finally in the hunt. I got Uncle Steve who finally could pay like the Dodgers and the Yankees.
And a lot of it's going to be biased. Like if your team is not going to spend money, of course you want the cap.
If you're the
going to spend money,
Pirates,
of course you don't want the cap.
Yeah, if you're a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, you want a salary cap.
Yeah. So you're going to be biased no matter what. But
no, I get the other point. I don't feel like purists who love baseball for all these years, they want all this change.
I'm very anti-lockout just based on principle because when it comes to predicting will there be a work stoppage, etc., I usually just expect a very delayed spring training, which they might cut in half or more. In reality, I think that both sides voluntarily losing money over the course of a stalemate doesn't seem realistic to me. So for me, I think that there will be some type of holdout, but I think there will be a season next year.
Yeah.
Maybe less than 162, but I think we'll have north of 100 games.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
100%. I agree with that.
When was the last time we had a serious full lockout? You had COVID in baseball, which is a pandemic. That's a whole separate can of worms. They had a season anyway. The NHL had a season. Football had a referee issue. They had a season. When was the last time we had a true lockout? Like the NHL in the early 2000s?
NHL, I was going to say.
The NBA had one, but that was like a shortened season too.
I mean, baseball, when was it? Like back in 2001, 2002, they had the lockout, right?
Baseball had one in 94.
Yeah.
The Expos were the best team in the league, and they got hosed.
And then it happened in...
That was it for season cancellations. Everything else has been shortened.
Yeah, I think the last one was 94, 95, and then 2001, 2002. I think it lasted almost 100 days, I remember.
For hockey, you had one too. But
yeah.
The point is, usually you get a lockout, which is just a holdout, and you get a shortened season. That's what I'm expecting for this. So there you go. We'll see what happens. But either way, moving on to the next game. You have the match between the Yankees and the Rangers. For this one, both teams did not look good over the weekend. The Yankees looked worse. But you have Fried against Corbin. For the money line, Yankees are minus 145. The Rangers are plus 125. For the over-under, I see around 7.5 or 8. I'm going Texas in this game. In addition to the Yankees not being in good form, Fried's been battling some blister issues the last couple of starts, and it feels like his starts have kind of unraveled because of the finger issue that he's dealing with. Corbin's been good, at least for what expectations were for him. Rangers at home, been a good home team, getting serious plus money. Good enough for me. Give me Texas on the money line at around plus 125.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know. Check me if I'm wrong. I see a 7.5 on FanDuel for the total.
I like the over. But
Yeah, give me the over. That's my play. I only made the Yankees a minus 135 favorite here on the road. Still not playing well and where they need to be. But like I said, I like the over 7.5. I see some 8s out there. My total came out to 8.5. I like Max Fried. I really do. But he has struggled in the month of July. 2+ runs given up in 5 straight games, and 4 of those 5 starts went way over this total. Say what you want about Patrick Corbin, but you mentioned it. He's been serviceable at home this season. And honestly, I think he's been a better pitcher than Max Fried in the past month. Maybe playing lesser competition, but it's regardless. He's been good. Yankees bullpen still a question mark for me. So I do think we'll see some runs here. 7.5 and 8 is extremely low. So I'll take the over.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, Blue Jays taking on the Rockies. You have Lauer, who's been really good this season, against Gordon. For the money line, I see Toronto minus 200. I see the Rockies at around plus 168. The over-under, I see 11.5. Weird series of the weekend for Colorado. A couple of fun games against the Pirates. Toronto, though, is an actual baseball team, and they are trying to fight off the Red Sox for the division right now. I see minus 1.5 and minus 137. I believe Lauer, historically, though, is atrocious in this ballpark, and I faded him in the past in this ballpark. I want to pull that up, but I like the over at first glance. I'll ask you, because I want to pull this up, but I'm pretty sure I faded Lauer constantly in this ballpark in his career. So I like the over, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I made the Blue Jays a huge favorite here on the road. I'm not going to lie. I think Eric Lauer is a really good pitcher. Home or on the road, I think he's very backable. If the Blue Jays could just give him 3 to 4 runs, which they should be able to do here in Colorado, I think he's very backable. There's no reason the Blue Jays shouldn't win this game comfortably. He's only given up more than 2 runs one time in the past 12 starts. And Blue Jays are 7-2 straight up in his last 9 road starts. And actually, one of those losses happened to be against the White Sox. I still don't trust the Rockies here, regardless of their recent success. They've been playing the Pirates and the Guardians. So I'll eliminate the bullpen, try to get some better value here, but I like the Blue Jays first 5 minus a half.
Yeah, I did pull up the stats, by the way, and I was 100% right. I faded Lauer every time he's pitched in Coors Field, and it's worked out pretty well. He's made 7 starts in Coors Field. He's 0-6 with a 12.73 ERA.
Wow.
In his career. So, yeah, 12.73 ERA in this ballpark in his career. Just give me the over. Not going to overthink it. Give me the over in this game. Moving on to the next game, I see the Rays taking on the Angels. For this game, I see Hauser taking on Kikuchi. For some reason, the Rays traded for Hauser. I don't know why, but he's been good this season. Kikuchi's been good too, but the Angels, we know, are not a great baseball team. They're 5 under. Now, for the money line in this game, you have the Rays, who are about minus... no, they're actually plus money. The Angels are minus 130. The Rays are plus 110. For the over-under, I see 8.5. Don't mind the under in this game, but I do like the Rays plus money. I think the Rays, despite not being great recently, are arguably the better team. Record-wise, they are, and they're getting plus money. I'll take the plus money.
We got a question here in the chat, Scott, real quick. Maybe you can...
I was going to respond to it in the chat, but that's fine. I don't know if I actually heard that or if that was when I walked away to get the autograph collection, but it was the confidence boost I needed. To answer your question, Yuho.
I really didn't fucking understand. And I was like, when did I tell Scott that?
That was when I was asking if you wanted to see the autograph collection.
By the way, I told all my friends about your autograph collection. They go, is he still going? I go, I told him to continue to fucking go.
I stopped doing it once I was like 13. They moved it to Vegas, and what's the point of me being 13 or 14 being in Vegas? Yeah. It's a waste.
So, I understand. Well,
if I see anybody during my trip in a week and a half, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, Scott, continue to take it out. We want to see it. But
yes, I already showed all my autographs, though. That was a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, back to baseball. I do like the Rays as well, plus 110. They might be my dog. I actually made them the favorite, minus 125 here. I think it's going to be Adrian Hauser going for the Rays. And, he was great for the White Sox before getting traded here to Tampa Bay, and I think he's going to be better. They have a better team. He hasn't given up more than 3 runs all season. I mean, they just picked this guy up off the couch, and he's been actually really good. I get Kikuchi has been solid at home, but he didn't really have the best July. Angels as a whole are just an up and down, inconsistent team, in my opinion. They didn't look good over the weekend versus the White Sox. I don't trust their bullpen. I think the Rays, yes, they're struggling right now, but they're the much better team. They should win this game. So I'll take the plus money here with Tampa.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, you have the Padres taking on the Diamondbacks. For this one, you have undecided against FOD. For the pricing, we have lines. San Diego's minus 142. I see the Diamondbacks at plus 120. For the over-under, I see 9.5. So San Diego screwed me yesterday. I had them on the money line at minus 134. They were up 4-0 and gave up 8 straight runs. Not fun for San Diego. They've been good lately, though. Arizona is having a decent series against the A's, but they aren't really worth a damn. FOD had a decent stretch mid-season. Then he got shelled the last start of 4 2/3, 7 runs, 11 hits against the Tigers. I'm not going to bet this game because I don't know who's pitching for San Diego, but I guess I'm on San Diego.
Yeah, I think it might be JP Sears.
Never mind. Over.
That's my total. Yeah, my total came out to 9.7. So I do think if it's Brandon Fod, JP Sears, we're gonna see some runs here. But I don't think you could confidently back the D-backs here. Even at home, they haven't looked good in, I would say, over a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. They don't look good. They made a move trying to get JP Sears. I don't think he's good at all. So I think we're gonna see some runs here. I know Brandon Fod has been a little better at home than on the road, but I think we'll see some runs. Like I said, I made my total 9.7, so I think we'll see some runs.
Yep. Going on to the next game. Looking at the next matchup between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. For this one, Dodgers had a nice win via shutout on Sunday. As for the Cardinals, they are playing against the Padres, and let me see. That actually starts. Did that game start already?
Which one?
The Padres-Cardinals game. They're down 2-0 in the 6th inning. So for this matchup, looking at quickly who's pitching, I see Gray against Glass now. So the Dodgers are minus 180, give or take. You have the Cardinals around plus 150. For the over-under, I see 8 juice on the over in this game. I kind of like the under in this game. I like the first 5 under, actually. Gray's been good this season. Glass now has been really good lately. Cardinals can hit, besides yesterday when I faded them. And the Dodgers' offense was pretty up and down against the Rays all weekend. I like the under in the game. I think the first 5 under is the way I'll bet this.
Yeah, we're going to be on opposite sides here. I actually like the over 8. My total came out to 8.8. Sonny Gray is just not the same pitcher on the road than he is at home. On the road, 5.84 ERA, and he's been very up and down in the month of July. I personally can't trust him to have a solid start. Not against this offense. They did get going a little here today. They won, but this offense is a little streaky in Los Angeles. I just think this might be a good spot for them to, break out some runs here against Gray, who does struggle on the road. And Snell, he's good to give up a few runs himself as well. He has been better than Sonny Gray, but I do think both teams will be able to score. So I'm probably not going to bet this game, but it's over or pass for me.
Yep. That's going to wrap it up, though, for all the games on the card. Before we get into the Lock and Dog picks, a reminder that we're brought to you by Circa, because they are still hosting 3 of the biggest NFL contests this upcoming season. They have Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, over 20 million guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in Circa football contests. Coming out with SGPN at Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st to the 23rd. I will not be there. I'll be there about a week before that. For an amazing weekend, though, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off your stay at Circa with code SGP15. Contest open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada, play for anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Fantasy because they're doing Best Mania, happening all summer long. 15 million in prizes, 2 minute first place, no waiver wire, no trade arguments. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. A reminder, they also have pick'em options if you want to create some entries. You can win up to 500 times your entry, so choose wisely. Sign up, though, for your new account with the code MLBSGPN to get a special pick and first time with an offer up to $1K in bonus cash. Our fantasy promo code MLBSGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games for Monday. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Dylan, what do you like as your lock and dog for the show?
Well, I was going to go with that under 10 in that Royals and Red Sox game, but minus 137 for the Brewers, who are just absolutely on fire right now against, I don't care if Spencer Strider. I'm going to take the Brewers here. The offense has been raking right now, and with Quinn Priester on the mound, I think they're going to really limit the Braves' offense. You mentioned Austin Hayes, right? He went out today?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so, that just hurts a really limited offense to begin with. So, yeah, I'll take the Brewers here as my lock, minus 137. As my dog, I don't feel like I gave out too much plus money, but it was either I was going to take not the Marlins, the Tigers minus 1.5 against the Twins, but I'll take the Rays. I think Adrian Hauser should be the favorite here against the Angels. Like I said, I know Kikuchi has been solid at home, but Angels are just a very inconsistent up and down team. So I'm going to look to fade them here and take Adrian Hauser. I'll take them plus 110.
Yep. For my play here, for the lock, what do I want to do? Thought about Milwaukee too, but I'm not going to bother with that. Could do the over in the Phillies game, but nah, I think I'll stay away from that. My dog's pretty easy. My lock, though, give me Miami. I'll take him at minus 108. They've been on fire. I got nothing else to add. They've been really good. Houston got killed over the weekend. They got Jason Alexander pitching, who stinks. Alcantara's been very good lately. Houston's offense has been underwhelming, especially after Paredes got hurt. Give me Miami. I'll back the hot hand here at minus 108 at home on the money line as my lock. For my dog, I got to do it. Based on the actual price here, I could have done the Red Sox minus 1.5, but instead I'm going to go with the Rangers at plus 125. I got to do it. The Yankees should not be laying 145. Fried has had some finger issues recently. They got swept by Miami. The base running's bad. The bullpen's been bad. The offense shut down the last 2 games of the series. Boone's taking no accountability. It's a problem. I believe I saw a stat that the Yankees, in their last 57 games, are 25-32. So they have been a below average team for the last 2 months, basically. And the Rangers, I know, have not been great on the road recently against Seattle and against the Angels, but they're a really good home team. Corbin's been good. Give me the Rangers at plus 125 as my dog for the show. Dylan, I'm going to let you abstain, but I did hit a home run pick last episode.
Yeah, I gave
out Gonzalez home run for the Red Sox at 4-1. You can pass if you want to. Do you want to give out a home run pick?
No, I'm going to leave that up to the pros like yourself.
Cool. So for the home run pick, I actually am considering fading Lauer, who's been getting killed in Coors in his career. Once again, 0-6 record, 12.73 ERA. He's given up 7 home runs in 7 starts. So who do I want to go with for this one? And at first glance, I might go with Moniak, but I want to see if there's anybody with numbers against him that I could go for the Rockies here. So let me just quickly pull this up. Anybody I'm interested in? I don't think anybody's been good against him, actually. Kyle Farmer's been good against him, but then implies I have to back Kyle Farmer, which is not fun. Has he been good? You know what? I'll actually go for it. I'll go for Tovar. Give me Tovar home run with the Rockies. Crazy stat line, by the way, 2 games ago on Friday. He had 4 doubles.
Wow.
In 1 game.
That's insane.
Which is kind of insane. But either way, give me Tovar home run against Lauer as my home run pick for the show. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. Dylan, anything else you want to add?
No, should be a good Monday. Hopefully we gave you guys some winners, and we're back with another week. Man, July flew by. I feel like the summer's flying by, don't you?
It does. So, Once again, we are closer to football season. I believe regular preseason starts this week. So you have that coming up. But either way, until next time, I'm on Twitter, Rush Radio. He's on Twitter at Once again, Rock with 2Ks 2-4. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.